Yes, people, here it is. Tea Talk and Tottenham episode. What?
Well, I think, is it 3?
We're going to go with 3.
It must be 3.
Yeah, we're going to
right?
count it the third one.
It
We
is
don't count the pilot.
Okay,
The first one.
Yeah, we're not counting the pilot, but
That's
the pilot's there for people to see if they haven't seen. Yeah.
There it is.
But this
So-
is officially episode 3.
Episode 3,
Yeah.
Tea Talk and Tottenham. It's me, Original Hartman. It's him, Mr. Ricky Norwood. And peoples, we're so glad to be back. I know you had to wait a long time for episode 2, but it was worth waiting for. If you haven't seen it, stop this one, go back, watch that, live it. Now, remember, like, comment, subscribe, do all the good things, share the love. We have a massive, massive community at Tottenham. Please, share it. If you're watching it and you're enjoying it, share it to a friend. If you're watching it and you don't enjoy it, send it to someone else because they may enjoy it. You know what I mean? Keep sharing the love. That's all we're here for. We're here for you. We keep stressing this. We do it for 2 reasons. I'm not going to lie to you. We do it. Reason 1, we love talking football together. And 2, we want to share that with you. So there's our twofold. So peoples, sit back, relax, enjoy it. And we are getting it on Spotify very soon. I've had the DMs. Please, Hartman, get it on Spotify. I know Ricky gets the DMs too. We are going to make it happen. It will be available for our audio listeners very, very soon. And we'll go backwards and put everything on so you don't miss a trick. All right, peoples. Rick, what's happening today?
Oh, in today's episode, my friend, we are going to be speaking about the board shake-up and Mr. Daniel Levy leaving Tottenham Hotspur. We are also going to be chatting about West Ham and that tremendous win. We're also going to be chatting about Tottenham back in the Champions League against Villarreal at home last night for us. And
That's a little clue on when we recorded. Yeah, he said last night.
last night
Yeah.
for us. And then I've got a deep dive question for you. And then we're going to look at the whole aspects of Spurs and what we look like going forward.
Cool.
So, you ready to jump in?
I'm always ready to jump in. Now, we are in our new era. We are in our minus Daniel Levy era. How you feeling about it?
Wait. We got a clink, bruv. For
Oh, we
Tea
did
Talk-
clink links?
Yeah. Tea Talk and Tottenham, bruv. Let's jump in. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
the
You
new
see that there?
edition,
You see that there?
Yeah?
You see that there?
Yeah,
It's-
new
it's-
edition, yeah.
It's got my name on it as well,
Yeah,
bruv. It's got
yeah,
my
it's
name.
got a
So,
bit,
yeah.
yeah.
It's rolling, yeah. Okay, go.
Anything for a promo. God bless your hands. Now, all right,
Yeah.
Levy era. How you feel?
Well, look, bro. You know, as we're privy to, we're lucky that friend of the show, friend of ours, Lee McQueen, he kind of alluded to a massive shake-up happening this summer.
I think you've been general. He called everything.
He called everything, bro. I mean, by the end of it, he was absolutely 10 out of 10 with everything that he said, including manager change, including what was happening in there. It started with Donna Cullen, being stepped down or stepping down. And then there was also a bit more of a shake-up in that board where there was a lot that we don't know, the names that we don't know, came out as well. And then it was that hover. And it was Lee McQueen's prediction, bro. It was his call where it was like, Levy's going to be the next one who steps down. And as a Tottenham fan, I didn't believe it whatsoever. I never thought it was ever going to happen. Even if we got new owners, new investment, there was one way, shape or form that Daniel Levy was going to be there because he's always been there. So when it came down to the other day and hearing that Daniel Levy has been stepped down, he's no longer, yes, he's still got his shares, but he is no longer the chairman of Tottenham Hotspur. I was like, I asked you if it was a joke. I thought the posts were AI. I literally had to wait like a good 12 hours before I even believed anything was happening. You put out a post and I didn't even reply because I'm like, I don't know if this is... I'm waiting for the dust to settle and for me to get the full scope of what's going on here to actually believe that Daniel Levy was not at the club no more. But it is so, bro. It is so right now. The board they promised change and, even change for Tottenham who have done a lot of good work through the post. Look, a lot of great work. Personally, I've said it before, it's not something that I would do. I personally don't like calling for anybody's job, bro. That's just me personally, right? Yeah. So to go out there and ask for Levy or anybody else, it just... But I know that every single one of them fans live and breathe and walk and talk and eat Tottenham Hotspur, bro. 100%. And we might not agree, but I stand beside them for what they've said. And there is a lot, by the end of it, bro, there was a lot that I was agreeing with because certain things ended up becoming true. So all of those people that went out there and stood and went for change, well, now we're seeing change right now. But it's still a shock to the system now. It's still a shock to the system to not have Daniel Levy there. How are you feeling when you heard the news and stuff like that?
It was an interesting one because it's Daniel Levy, right? It's a it's a hard one because you speak to Spurs fans, and I'll go over a big number. 90, probably 95% of Spurs fans would want Daniel Levy out. Now, Daniel Levy for me has been an amazing businessman. In his 25 years, the business that he has done and turning Tottenham into a business has been phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
Like, we're probably one of the best run clubs financially. The global brand that he's created, that is Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, like it's phenomenal. And the revenue that he's brought in, and the stadium that he's built, the training ground that he's built, the infrastructure around us, where he's given us a Tottenham that's going to be here for a very, very long time. And he took where Alan Sugar had taken us and propelled us into a new stratosphere. And it's phenomenal. And be careful what you say about Alan Sugar, because Jamie Redknapp, he came for you. I know. I saw
Did you see that?
Oh,
Did
I saw
you see
it.
that?
So yeah, Alan, I love your work. Yeah, I love your work. I know. Sugar is your manner. Yeah, I love your work. Yeah. So with Daniel Levy, my thing was always, I love what he does as a businessman, but I don't know what he does as a football chairman. Because I felt that he didn't get the football right. Yes, he invested a lot of money. People would do the numbers. I see it, I know it, I hear it. But it never felt like the football was at his core. It felt like the business was his core. And my thing was, I wanted him to stick around, but I wanted him to be shifted away from football and just do business. Let someone else do the football. So when I heard he'd gone completely, it was a bit of a shock, because I didn't anticipate that he would go completely. I always felt that it would be a moving around the deck. Yeah. So the fact that he's gone entirely, I'm a believer of be careful what you wish for.
Of course.
Because we don't know what the future holds. We've seen the past. We've seen what Levy's done. We have pros and cons to it. But I'm not going to be here going, yes, he's gone, I'm so happy, yeah, it's amazing. Because I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. We could have a real shambolic appointment or a shambolic structure that then means that we start blowing money and being ridiculous and losing the structure that has been in place and find ourselves in a problem because of the new regime. So I'm a little bit like, okay, this could be great. This could be amazing. We could get the footballing side of Tottenham correct. But let's do that without losing the business side of Tottenham, because the brand has been built. But I say the but, because we're hearing there's a lot of investment talk. There's a lot of money being put into the squad and into Tottenham Football Club. And if that's the way we're going, as long as it's used wisely, it could be amazing for us, because we are on the cusp of really being somebody. And I say that because when you talk about global brands, we've built that. And if we get the footballing side right, teams like Manchester United, their global brand, we can absolutely test that. Teams like the Real Madrids and stuff like that. Yes, people may go, Hartman, you're really saying that we could, I'm not saying we're going to win what they've won, but as a global brand, we could be up there with them if we propel in the right way. So it gives us that opportunity. Just got to be a bit cautious. I'm not going to dive in and go, yes, it's going to be amazing, because like I said, I don't know what comes. I'm loving that the Lewis family are more involved. Yeah. Great to see them in the stadium now and kind of making their presence felt, which is important. So I'm always that person who leans on the line of caution in moments like this, because yes, Levy, I will say this, thank you for what you did for Tottenham, the business. Absolutely. And I appreciate the journey you took us on. Thank you for giving us the best stadium in the world in my eyes. And thank you for investing in Tottenham and building us a Tottenham that now hopefully is in a position to really take off even further, because you put us, look, when we come out at Tottenham Stadium, it's a beautiful sight. It
blows my mind every single time that I see it. Every
and
single time I walk around the corner and just see it appearing there, it is absolutely gorgeous, man. I love it to bits. But you're right there in thanking him as well, because there's a lot that he done. I mean, even the last non-emotional decision that he made, which was to sack Ange and to employ Thomas Frank right now. He made the hard decision at arguably at the right time to push the team on, and again that kind of echoes in his tenure, in the sense that he's okay, cool, he's got up to the Europa Cup last year, this year, May. He's got to see that lifted, had the parade. He was there. Yeah. He was in the background, but he was there.
He was there. It's part of it. Yeah.
And he was part of it. He's been part of the journey. So okay, fantastic. Now you go and let us push on. But you're absolutely right as well when you talk about the business. And a lot of people speak about Brighton and the business and their recruitment and those investors and how they use their money, how they earn their money. And I think that a lot of people in the next let's say 5 years, 3 to 5 years, I think people are going to be looking at the Daniel Levy blueprint of Tottenham on how to self-generate money.
100%.
You know, how to use people talk about they don't want Beyonce concerts in in the stadium and stuff like that. It's about the football, but at the same time, that's using the stadium and it's making us self-sufficient. We
100%.
haven't used the money that we've got in the bank as yet.
There you go. And
that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Right? That's the problem.
Yeah, don't not want the concert, but you want the concert money to be in the side.
Yeah,
it's not like we're stopping a football match. You know what I mean? It's not like they go, no, you can't play Liverpool this weekend because we've got Beyonce. It's not that.
Exactly that.
We can have both.
It's that. It's the lack of spending that extra 5-10 mil on a potential first target.
100%.
And going for the second and third just to save that money, and then we end up buying twice. You know, then we can't get rid of the guy. You know, we can't sell him. You know, so there's many of those things where we just could have pushed at many a point, bro. Many a point. You know, the Pochettino era, of course. You know, with a little bit more. Who knows where we could have gone? And it was the same in this point right here. There's been loads across the time, but it was the same right here. You know, this squad, after going through everything that they went through last year, got to lift that trophy. We got to have that parade. We got to get that weight off of our shoulders. And you can see it in some of these players. And now you've got a manager that is bringing all of the facets together to then take this team forward. Also, with the business that they've done this year, and Daniel, I'm assuming, was still part of it because he's left only just now.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that he was still part of it. You know, they brought in 4 first teamers to help. Yes, 2 on loan, but they brought in 4 first teamers of very good quality, bro. That is going to help this first team, and that gives our squad right now a really healthy balance with room to grow in.
Yeah.
You know, so there's so much I think that Daniel Levy done right. Yeah. But there are glaring wrongs in there. Yeah. Bad one, you know, taking away the senior concessions, or do you know what I mean? Or
they did do some wrong.
During COVID, when he went for the what is it called? You know, when they asked for the money, I can't remember where it is. What is it? Furlough.
Yeah.
When he tried to do the furlough, like there were certain things.
Yeah, he does make some bad calls.
You know, even that Aston Villa game, where they put all of the fans during COVID time, we put all of the fans in the tallest seats and charged them stupid money. These are trivial ones. There's big ones.
Yeah, of course. Like there's loads. Like even when you look at some of the transfers deals that he's not made happen and has made happen.
And we could go on all night about the players that we didn't get.
Yeah. Now, question for you, and you too. Daniel Levy, what do you think he's most proud of in his time at Tottenham?
I would say he would be most proud of that stadium and training, you know, the training ground.
It's a challenge for Daniel Levy to be celebrated by some Spurs fans, because some will go, I can't celebrate him because ultimately he didn't want to be the football chairman, he was the business chairman. So that's a tricky one. Now, keep talking. I'm just going to make sure that camera's still on.
All right,
make sure the camera's still on. We don't want to lose that.
Because, you know, like you was talking about the Lewis family as well, Dal. And you know, let's not forget that they're the ones they're the ones that have been in charge of the purse strings, supposedly.
Yeah.
That have then been handed down to Levy, and then Levy's done what. And these are presumptions. These are educated guesses from you know, reading loads of sources over the years. You know. But now they want change. Now they want to see something different. But and it's up to them to show it right now.
Yeah.
You know. 100%. But there was a couple of things that happened during this summer. You know, Daniel Levy had an interview with Vinay, and he had an interview with Gary Neville. Now he has had an interview with Simon Jordan, and he's been hinting at it being aired, but I still haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it either. Anyone seen it? Drop us a link so we can watch it too.
Because you know Simon Jordan's going to ask some questions, right? Yeah. But with the Vinay one, I saw him, and it was the first time that I saw him a bit human. You know, a bit. He wasn't so rigid. You know, he felt more at ease with Vinay, and I felt that there was a bit more of a connection with not only somebody, you know, the person that he was speaking to, but to us a little bit as well. And it was an easy. There was nothing majorly to take out of that. It was more so to introduce Vinay to the family and bring him in as that guy, as the football guy right now. Yeah. What did you think of when he had the interview with Gary Neville?
I find Levy's interviews challenging because, from a performer's aspect, I feel like it's pre-rehearsed. I feel that his questions are never new to him. He knows what he's going to say before he goes into it, and I don't. He doesn't sell himself in terms of his personality. I don't warm to him, and I found it a little bit like that. I felt like.
Did you see him defensive at all? Almost like gentle defensive. Almost.
Yeah, but even that I felt. That's why I felt like it was a bit staged. I felt like what Gary Neville was pushing him on, he knew it was coming. I was like, well, I'm going to play like this is making me uncomfortable. I'm playing like I don't like. But no, what I'm saying is, it felt a bit like trying to play a bit panto-y. I didn't buy into it. I didn't, and it's a good comparison to talk about the Zino one and then that one, because, like you said, it was two different people. I saw two very different Daniel Levy, and that's why I was like, I can't buy this one because I feel like this is the performance one. It's like when he does the open forums with the fans.
Yeah.
It's controlled. He knows what he's doing. I respect him for it, and it's not a criticism in terms of like not to do it. He's very good at going, this is the him he wants the world to see. This is how he wants to be portrayed. He wants to be viewed in a certain way, and he's very in control. And I felt that Neville was trying to get under him and try and get out of him. Yeah, I felt like Neville was trying to be a Simon Jordan. That probing. And it'd be interesting to see. Go on with your aspect.
He went with the guy from Ineos in Man United. Was it that Ratcliffe, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So when he went at him, because it's Man United, he went at him. You could see, like, but I felt that he did ask the question, some questions, but I felt that the majority of that interview, I think it was 20, let's say it's 25 minutes long.
Something like that.
I would say 15 minutes of that at least, go close to 20, was spoken about every other club.
Yeah.
And it was spoken about the structure, the stadium, the training ground. It was spoken about the pitch. It was spoken about
good script.
Yeah, it was spoken about loads of things that were, he spoke about the old stadium being in the ground and stuff. It was a tour. They spoke about Newcastle, Man City, Chelsea spending money. It was very much about everybody else. And then there was about 5-10 minutes where he spoke about us, bro. And like you say there's the scripted element of it, and there's almost the structured element of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Controlled. Very much controlled.
But it was an opportunity for him, though.
And it was, but then you may have to look at it when you go hindsight to bright side. Maybe at that point it's like, I'm leaving anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because he said it actually, didn't he? They'll miss me when I'm gone.
Yes, he alluded something about when he's gone. I can't remember the term. Can you remember? I can't remember.
They spoke about the criticism, and then like maybe when I'm gone they'll appreciate me or something like that. Something like that.
And I think that's going to be, to use that line to probably wrap up this section. It is something that over time I think Levy may get more love as we go forward, because that stadium will be celebrated and he'll be the one who will be remembered. He did it. He brought it in, and I think as Spurs grow, we may look back and go, yeah, I remember them leaving. I remember those times. And I don't know about you, but I find that as time goes on, especially as you get older, you start to forget the negatives.
Yeah.
And you just hold on to the positives.
Yeah.
And I think as we grow in our time and as Tottenham progresses out of the Daniel Levy era, we may just remember the positives.
Yeah.
And he will be remembered for winning that Europa League, you know what I mean? Bringing the beautiful stadium into our lives, making that great training ground, and some fun elements and players that came through. Remember the good ones, not the ones that didn't come, you know what I mean? Yeah. So let's see. But you know what, Daniel Levy, big up and bless you. Thank you.
And he's left us in a great position right now. I think
for anyone to come in.
I think it's a perfect time. Like the management is now shaken up, the board has been shaken up, the team is shaken up now.
Someone else got the pin code to the card, you know what I mean? It's you know what I mean?
And let's see. We've got I think the guy's name is Peter Charrington, who he's only in 2 to 3 times a week, sort of thing.
You know, them part-time jobs, I want one of them. Well, I think a part-time job at Tottenham, yeah.
On that money as well.
Oh, I'm in more. Give me that change.
And then it's like Vinay in the seats, and Vivian, who is I think is Jonas' granddaughter, right?
Yeah.
And then there'll be a couple
of
others. Yeah,
she's there.
She's been there.
Yeah,
so it's crazy not seeing him there. But like you say, thank you, Levy, for what you gave us. And I think it's the perfect time for us to keep springing forward and keep this team moving forward. Who knows what change brings? But then Levy, please come and watch a game at Tottenham. Like, he's a fan. He's allowed to. Let's not see you again. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Don't do that. But I would still say don't be in the south stand in the middle of the I'd say stay in the box, you know what I mean? Like, so stay buying some glass or something, just in case. Do you know what I mean?
Oh man,
but yeah, come watch your game. Man.
With the drum, yeah, put it with the drum, with the trumpet up. Yeah, that'd be too funny. But Levy, God bless you, thank you, big up and bless. And now the new era is here. Let's see what comes. Let's see what comes of it. Get ready, team. It's going to be a roller coaster. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, it's a smooth one with pretty views. But let's see.
Let's see, bro. So I think we can roll on to West Ham. So first Premier League game back after international break.
Listen,
did you watch any international break?
International break gets on my nerves.
Bro, it gets on my nerves, bro.
Gets on my nerves. Like, I don't know. Like I'm a man who I like my Premier League football.
Straight up.
I like my Premier League. Don't get me wrong. I like the big events. I like the World Cups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you break it up, and probably heard the new rule now. Apparently, it's going to be 4 weeks in September.
What do you mean 4 weeks in September?
So instead of having the October one, I think the September one's going to be longer.
What,
so,
international break?
Yeah. Instead of it being 2 weeks, it's going to be 4 weeks. Now,
why?
Listen, I don't know why, but that's what I'm hearing. They're swapping it around to make the September one even longer. That burnt me because we're still getting into the groove of the season, and that's what throws me. Because imagine being a manager, right? I thought about this international break. The window closes, transfer window shuts. Then your star players go on international duty. Imagine you sign them and they go on international duty.
Which has happened. It's happened.
And I'm just like, there's got to be a way around it. I don't see how. I don't know how you do it, but I feel like every time the international break comes in, it's at a point where it's detrimental to everybody.
Everybody.
Fans, players, coaches. Also, if you're a Premier League manager, you must be terrified when that break comes in on your own job as well. Because that seems to be sacking season. We get international break and we get sacked. It's crazy. Yeah, Nottingham Forest, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So it's interesting that period of time, it kills football for me. I'm just going to be real. It kills it for me. And because I'm a Spurs man, and that's what I'm here for. Don't get twisted. I've caught up on Jamaica. We could qualify for the World Cup. I'm invested. Want to see what happens there. We need the Reggae Boys back in the World Cup. But I was just glad when it came back. And also to come back to West Ham. Yeah. Come back to that game after coming out of it, going into the international break on a defeat, which for me was important to see how we then recover from that. And I felt that it was a good recovery. It was a very good recovery.
Do you think lessons were learned from Bournemouth?
I think lessons are still being learned from Bournemouth. I don't think that we kind of rectified everything because, like you know, as we know and you know, international break, all your stars are away. Yeah. They come back a couple of days and then you're into a game. So you can't really do much training in terms of improvement. There would have been videos sent out and information shared, but there's not much time. So I felt like there were small lessons that were learned. Also, let's be real, West Ham friends, I've got a lot of them. Same. God bless you. Yeah. But I worry for you. I really, do you? Bro, I'm worried about them.
Worried. Part of me thinks that, you know what I mean, West Ham are going to do what West Ham do. But you're worried.
Bro, remember West Ham relegated before?
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
Remember, they're too good to go down times.
Yeah, right.
Let's not fool ourselves. Bro, right now, they're a hot mess. If this was hot tea, coffee, it'll be bunning me. That's how much problems you're in. It's hot. It's a mess.
What do you think? Do you think it's a Potter thing? Do you think it's a squad thing for them?
It's a West Ham thing. And I'm going to say this. You had David Moyes and you decided that you were better than him. And then you've scoured, searched, hunted to find this new brand of football because you want exciting football. And there's a reason why I'm talking about this, Spurs fans. Think about it, the parallels. Wanting the exciting football, you chase it, you find managers that can produce it, but then you don't have a squad that can deliver it, and then when you are getting it, it's not working. Now you've got a manager who is got to rebuild. Potter's a good manager. Let's be real, he's a good manager.
I thought he would make a good fit.
He's a good manager, but you look at the squad, it's bang average. It's bang average, and that's the challenge he's got because he's good at turning average players into good players, making them look better than they are. But at a side like West Ham, you don't get the time. How long are they going to give him? And I think they're already ready. They're hovering over the panic button.
Do you reckon?
100%. Because remember, Jose's around. Mourinho's available. They're looking.
I was about to say, but he's just been... Today's information is that he's being courted by Benfica, so he might go back to Portugal.
Yeah, so I think that's why I look at them and go, I worry for them because where do you go? And I think for Spurs, it was the perfect time to play West Ham because that's their cup final. Like Spurs, we know this. It's their cup final. but they were fragile. Yes, they won their game against Nottingham Forest. They were on a little bit of a high, so to speak. Bowen found a bit of form and rhythm, but they don't look like they have an idea.
You know what it was, bro? It's always a barnstorm with West Ham. I mean, it always goes back and forwards. There's always going to be controversy. There's always going to be some fight, and it's never really over. But mate, from the beginning of that game, for the first 20 minutes, them being at home, they had a go. There was some times where they played some nice one-touch football, but once that was over, that was it. Our class just started to, build and build and build and build and build, and like it ended up 3-0, but like it could have been 5 easily. With Romero's goal, which was, and please tell me, what did you? Because I didn't get to ask you. I was on Spurs Chat podcast with Chris, so I didn't get to ask you, but for me, 100%, always a goal, never ruled out, never a foul. Dal, what did you think about that goal? And did you see it? Because I know your eye as well. I know you saw it.
It was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous hit, and I think that's where we're in a real problem now with the rules around corners, free kicks, the pushing around the box. They're watching that closely, and referees are making really big calls on, no, I'm stopping that, that's a foul, end of. Romero doesn't actually do anything. As we've already seen if you watch back highlights, Romero does nothing wrong. Van der Ven is the one they accuse of the action. Yeah. Van der Ven is meant to have pushed Walker Peters, that's the problem.
Yeah.
If you watch it, like all the top refs have done their analysing of the situation, Van der Ven is being held. He's the one who is pushed onto Walker Peters. Then Walker Peters goes down, but it looks like it's Van der Ven. I think that's where it's going to be unfortunate in football, because there are going to be a lot of those decisions. They're not going to be 1 or 2. They're going to be regular, because it's a split second when you look, and when the ref looked, he saw Van der Ven doing that, but Van der Ven's doing that because he's been pushed. I think it's protecting. I don't know, because I had this theory with goalkeepers before when they were overprotected, and it was like, oh, any touch of a keeper and a whistle blew. Now we're getting in that realms again now with defenders and stuff. Football is a contact sport.
Mate,
it is a contact sport.
I think it was on Sky Sports. I can't remember it. I think it might have been Ref Watch on Sky Sports, and I can't remember which player it was. But he was like, the player, Fernandes for West Ham, wasn't even looking at the ball. There's not. How can you be a player that doesn't play for the ball? He wasn't looking at the ball.
But
he
that's
was
part
in
of defending now. They're doing a lot of that. They're marking the man. They're not worrying about the ball, not worrying about the flight of the ball. They don't know when the corner's been kicked. They're just focusing on blocking this man from getting anywhere near the ball. Is that right? Is that wrong? I don't know. But now these rule changes, any grabs, any holds, any contact, you're in danger. So as a defender, you don't want to touch anyone. You don't want to make contact, because VAR will look at it or whatever will go down, and you could be in a problem. So yeah, that goal should have stood. But after that, to be fair, I think that was the moment that sparked Spurs into life, if I'm honest. Because before that, as you quite rightly said, West Ham were knocking the ball around, doing a little ping here. It looked like they were growing in their confidence and taking what they came out of the Nottingham Forest game, a little bit of, we can play again. But then we just controlled the game. It was so controlled. It wasn't thrilling, exciting football, but it was well controlled. We were never out of control of the game. Like you quite rightly said, could have been 4, 5, 6, if I'm honest, but we took the pace off. We did. Yeah.
Pace. So, cool. We keep it moving. We're trying to get more subscribers, and no, but another interesting point was that Kudus was back at the London Stadium in a Tottenham shirt now, and he was up against their new defender. I think his name is Juve. Yeah. And that was a bit of a battle.
Yeah, they had a battle.
They had a strong battle, but I think Kudus enjoyed the battle. Yeah. And he at the same time, for up until about 60 minutes, I want to say, up until the sending off, I want to say that he was pretty respectful towards the West Ham fans. Yeah, yeah. Like, he was doing what he had to do. He wasn't.
He was on job. He was doing their own job.
But he wasn't doing anything to be like.
There weren't no fancy moves.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And until that sending off, and then until we started to play that game, and then that's when he started showboating, and you could see he really wanted wanted to score. But
Yeah.
I felt he handled the pressure and the boos well.
Mm-hmm.
I still think he had a good. He's building such a great relationship with Porro right now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling.
They absolutely are. I really, really are. We'll deep dive into that a little bit later and see, because those relationships around the pitch are becoming really, really strong, and you can see that as a team, they're gelling with each other and understanding what they need to do for each other. Because Frank has systems, and he wants them to work within that. And watching a first Premier League goal for Bergvall, seeing him get one, great header by the way, great header.
Well, it's the ball. It's the ball.
It's both.
Yeah.
It's both.
It is a beautiful header.
Romero picking him out with that. What I think you always talk about that kind of Vertonghen pass.
Yeah. It's Toby.
Toby, the Toby pass.
Barrow, yeah.
And having a centre half that is that comfortable on the ball and can play those kind of passes, you just go, as a midfielder, that run is always on. Because you know you've got a man who can play the pass. And Bergvall was like, I'm going to go because I know he's going to see me. And when you get an opportunity and you score it like that, it's brilliant. It's like, he's a player who's looking very, very good right now.
Yeah,
very,
he's
very
growing
good.
every single week in, week out. He looks bigger, he looks stronger.
Yeah.
It looks like he's got more confidence as well.
100%.
And you know, Bergvall was forged in fire last year as a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, thrown in the deep end, 101 injuries, pressure on,
Mm-hmm.
losing streak, but cup games. He played in every cup game, a Europa League cup game, up until he got injured.
Yeah, think about some of those horrible parts of the world he was travelling to at 17 and learning about his craft, getting booted up and stuff. So yeah, bless him.
He's looking like a really confident player right now, and a player that wants to grab that shirt.
100%. I don't know if you saw the footage. I know a lot of Spurs fans were retweeting it, where Bergvall was upset when he was on the bench.
Oh,
and they said they were doing I think it was the Bournemouth game.
Okay.
So he's doing the warm up before the match, and you just see him get a bit dejected, and he looks a bit frustrated. And I can't remember who roughs him up. Like, come on. And lots of comments were about, oh, is he annoyed that he's on the bench? I was like, if he is, that's great. That's exactly what you want from him. You want your player to be like, oh, I'm frustrated. I don't want to be on the bench. I want to be on the pitch. I want to be starting. That's the energy you want. And the fact that you could see that in him, and now watching him start now and what he's delivering, you go, great. That is what you want from your players. That's the response you want. I benched you, now you're hungry, then you give me that kind of performance. Make yourself unbenchable. Make yourself the player that the coach goes, I can't drop you. There's no way I can do it. That's what you want, and that's what Bergvall's doing. Credit to him.
Yeah, and then his midfield partner, Pap Sarr, bro, who is becoming like a player you can't leave out the side right now. Another one that's been with us for a while, went on loan, came back in, and you know, you've seen flashes of brilliance from him. Last year, a little bit inconsistent, but the team was inconsistent as well.
Yeah.
But with young players, they are going to have seasons, moments where they do dip. But this year, throughout pre-season as well, he is becoming the man in midfield. He is becoming the midfielder that we thought and hoped he was going to be. He's really growing in, and he's another one that's grabbing the shirt right now. The way that he controlled that West Ham game, mate. You know, the way that he was everywhere, helping defend, high press defending, and getting that ball moving, and his energy, and he's got speed and long legs, bro. That just he gallops across the field as well. So him with Bergvall beside him as well. That was an energetic midfield. Paulinho was in as well, wasn't he? Yeah, he was in the 6 in that game. You know, somebody who's screening, and those two young ones. Because Sarr is young, even though he's been with us for you know, he's still a young one. Yeah. But having that experience and having that specialist in the 6 right there to screen the defence and allow those boys to go out and play forward, I think is tremendous. How are you feeling about Sarr?
He's a tremendous signing. You know what upsets me about Sarr right now is he's really hitting the ground running. Remember, we got it from Mets years ago.
Yeah, and I think it was like 15 mil.
Yeah,
and that's me guessing. But let us know.
That great business. The fact that we're going to lose him in January to AFCON, I'm just like, the timing. He's just really stepping up, and he's really pushing himself, and he's growing. And I feel for Thomas Frank because he's got a real conundrum now. Because you've got Sarr, who looks like, as you said, your terms, undroppable. You've got Bergvall, who's gone, I want to play. I'm showing you I want to play. You've got Paulinho, who's your 6, You got Bentancur who will swap and rotate. But that midfield, as great as they are as individuals and how they're working, midfield isn't working right. Because you need a 10 in there.
Yeah.
It's not. That's why, like the West Ham game, as great as it was at times, you could see that the creative spark isn't there. The ball just moves around, and that's when you're relying on we can't rely on Romero setting up the chances.
Well, this is where we get to Xavi as well, because Xavi being his debut, was starting him out on the left. All of us, I think every Tottenham fan going right now, and has said it as especially after the Villarreal game again. But we all want to see him in that 10. But we can only see him in that 10 if we're playing 4-2-3-1 in that system. And then you get a winger out there and see what happens. How did you feel about his debut? There was a lot of the time. There was a lot of good touches. There was a time that he nutsed Paqueta. Did you see that?
Yes, I did see
he
that.
He took it off the chest and then he just waited and nutsed him, bro. Yeah. But it was so cheeky because Paqueta goes to tackle him and he's gone. Yeah. So there was a couple of really nice touches. You can see he wants to get involved. He tried a couple of shots, not too powerful, But you can see first game finding his feet. There was a moment where this is where the left winger comes in. There was a moment where I remember him dribbling towards goal, and he goes to pass it out left to either Spence or a winger, and there was nobody there. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So you can see he's looking for the pocket, but Xavi, first game,
he's gonna grow. And that's the thing I like, is he's nowhere near what we want him to be yet, and he's nowhere near where he would want to be. It's about relationships. That's why when you said about Kudus and Porro, they built a relationship. Yeah. They built one already. They built an understanding, because it all starts through work rate. Kudus worked so hard to support Pedro all the time. Pedro has changed completely this season in his positioning and the way he's playing, and the understanding between him and Kudus has really made the right side solid. On our left side, you've got Spence playing left back right now. And Spence he's playing amazingly well. He's great one-to-one. He's like, give me a man, I'll take him on. There's no right winger in the league that he's fearing right now, which is great. His confidence is sky high. However, he hasn't found a way to play with Xavi. They haven't worked out because they haven't been together long enough.
Yeah.
And that's what you're seeing, is that the communication isn't quite there, and there's a moment, like you said, that pass where you're looking for someone to be over his shoulder again, you've gone, oh no you haven't. And it's funny, when you're building a relationship with someone, like when you're dating, it's all touch tight, you're like, there, and it's all cute. And it's until you build the confidence, go, I can step away now. I trust that we've built something, and now I don't have to think what you're thinking. I just go, do you want this? Do you want that? I can be give it a bit of distance and enjoy you. Yeah. That's what they're building towards. Because right now, even they're passing this close to each other.
Yeah.
It's like it's a give each other space. Like, make the run, I'll give it to you, but I don't know your run yet. And that's what we're learning. And if Simmons is going to be played there, which I know Simmons or Simons, whatever, or we're going to just call him Xavi, we'll work it out. Yeah, you know what I mean? There's loads of variations on his name. If we're going to play him on the left, it's going to be a case of who's his best partner. Is it Spence? Is it Udogie? How does that work? If he plays in the 10, you then bring back in someone like Glenn Johnson. Wow!
Back, man.
Wow!
Glenn Johnson.
Get me out the time walk. I quantum leaped out my skin.
Have another double, bro. Have another double. Yeah, go on. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. So, having Johnson on the left, their connection already, like Spencer, and they get along, they know each other, you can see that. So there's a different way of playing. So maybe when Simmons goes in the middle, that could allow a change, because you get another left winger out there. And I think it's going to be interesting to see where he ends up for Spurs. We all want to see him in the 10, but does Frank see him there? And that will be interesting. I feel we need to see him there to know if it works, and sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think partly, I think, firstly, we never know what systems Frank's going to come out with.
No, he's got loads up his sleeve. Loads. Yeah, up his arm. You know what I mean? Up his arm. So you got up top. Yeah.
We never know what system Frank's going to play. But I think that he wanted to get him in as soon as possible. Cracking me up, bro. Cracking me up tonight, bro. You're on fire, bro. You're cracking me up tonight. I think he just wanted to get him in the starting 11.
Yeah, get
him in. Starting, getting to understand the runs and everything else. But just before we move on from West Ham, bro, let's just go through the goals a little bit. The first goal now, you know, you can see the uptick in the set plays.
Yeah.
The first goal comes from a corner from Xavi on the left-hand side, and Sarr left back post.
Yeah.
We were ready to. How are you feeling about this? Because I don't remember when I've ever seen it used as a weapon.
Yeah.
Corners, free kicks. I've seen them being used as opportunities, and you crossing your fingers, and I hope somebody connects. But right now, it's being used as a weapon right now, and it led to the first goal.
Because it's understanding that we're a big side. We're a very big side. We've got very tall players. We've got very good headers of the ball in our team. And what we realised, I don't know if people have seen any of the analysis of West Ham. What happened earlier in that game before Sarr scored is that we front loaded like everyone was going to go near post.
Right.
So they started off at the back post, then everyone went front post. And I think there was a header for someone at the back post. And it was like, oh, hello. Half time came. Tottenham, Frank. What I love about Frank and his team is they analyse and show you videos at half time. He's finding the moment to show it back to you. Here's what we're trying to do. I know that was the point that he looked at. Because the next time we had the corner when Simmons took it, Pat Sarr dropped right to he was the last man of the attack. And he stayed there. And what you saw, Bergwijn, I think Paulinho and somebody else, they're taking their defender to the ball. They're taking them away from Sarr, leaving Sarr as the free man. That's what the corner was all about. That's the system. And I think knowing that we're using corners, long throws, and capitalising on that because we know what we're doing in around that. Listen, our neighbours have become frigging Stoke Park too. Yeah. If we can add that to our game, but not just have that as our only means of attack.
And that's what I've seen. Yeah, I've seen us play football, but then this being used as a weapon.
Yeah, it should be an added part of our game. I don't want us like just trying to I don't want to turn it into rugby, where it's like get it long into touch and then let's go from there. We don't want that. But it's good to have options there. Bergwijn, Danzo, people with these huge throw-ons that we're using. We have to use it all the time, but having that is great. And I embrace it. As long as it doesn't change the football, and I think that's why when we get now, which I think is a nice place to like transcend into looking at the Villarreal game, because the goals against West Ham, as you said, they were headers. There were lots of set piece goals. It was the
Bergwijn, but then the last one was Van der Ven. So I know how you love that Bergwijn goal, and it was a piece of art. You know, the ball over from Romero, the way that he flicked it on, the shape, mate. If they took a picture of the shape, it could be the new Jordan logo. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it is Bergwijn. Yeah. You know, just done it. Do you know what I mean, or something? You know. So, but it was his mazy run, his drive again that got into the box against West Ham. Tippy tappy. It fell to Van der Ven, who rifled it in with his other foot, and you saw how much that meant to him as well. Yeah. And then just as well, just for you to think about and chat about as well, like you could see that after that we just controlled the game. We could have gone for more. We controlled the game. West Ham had absolutely nothing, and I think that's how they were almost, you know, without rubbing it in. And they were rubbing it, and then that's when Kudus came with a couple of tricks and showboat, and you could see how much he wanted to score. There was that moment right in stoppage time where he had a shot and he could have left it for Paulinho because the ricochet came off. He could have left it, but he wanted it. And so that was the only double save that West Ham's keeper made during that time. But again, Bergwijn's burst for that third goal for Van der Ven. He is becoming some player.
He is. He really, really, really is. And we've just got to just look after him. And I think we've got a good manager here who will look after him, not overplay him. He will have a bad game. Spurs fans, he will have a bad game. He may have 2 in a row. And it's about us looking after him as well in that and remembering that he's still a kid. And if we want him to grow into the player that he could become, we've got to support him in that and celebrate him when he's playing like he is now and he's on his high. But just don't be too hard on him when he has the low, because they're going to come. They're absolutely going to come. They're going to come for sure.
And then that goes into him starting his very first Champions League game. Now, indeed. Look at that. You know, he ends up missing the semi and the final last year. Yep. You know, he's still, partook in the celebrations.
Yes.
But
Yes.
you know he must have been feeling that. So for him to step up and hear that music,
What?
you know.
Our
And for
stadium.
us to hear that music,
What?
what was that, bro?
Oh.
And the TIFO,
Lit.
the THFC flags, they are next level. Do you know what I mean? Like literally next level.
Phenomenal.
But hearing that music in the stadium,
Sounds good to
bro.
me. Sounds good.
Seeing the football, you know that football flag that they hold in the centre, you know, seeing that
Yeah.
flying, you know, just like,
Our stadium was built for Champions League.
Did you see Papsar's face?
Yeah.
Papsar
Yeah.
was so happy, bro. Like he was, but that's what it was about. And you know, Champions League football was back.
Yeah.
It was. I'm gonna want to know your take on the game, but just to let you know, I mean, there was a lot going on, and yes, we should have scored. And after the first goal, which we'll jump into, but after that, I felt that we should have built on that goal, and that's where you know, us as Spurs fans, we get to sometimes when we have good moments, we want to build on it and profit from it. But there was a stat that I heard that we only had one shot on goal, my friend.
Yeah.
One shot on goal on target.
Yeah.
And you know, for however good it was being back in, that is something that you know. That was one of the notes for Frank to take. And maybe the way that I was speaking about it, maybe that was a bit of fatigue from the West Ham game. But maybe what more I was thinking of, bro, it was like nervous energy, almost like a dopamine hit, like dump.
Yeah.
So when it got to the second half, I think there was a lot of those boys in there. It was their first Champions League game, and a lot of them had that high. Oh, it's Champions League, like, and you could see them going for that first half, and they put a lot into that first half. We grew into it, had more corners, we had more, you know, moments around goal, and it looked like we was more dangerous going into the half. But then it was almost like second half, we had a bit of a dopamine dump, and then it became 20 minutes of give them the ball, and let's try and recover. And we're, you know, I think we're all thinking, come on, Tottenham, don't do it to yourself, don't do it to yourself. But then ended up being a bit professional, bro, with the end of it. How did you feel about the game? How did you feel about the first goal? You know, it was the own goal, but again, a move from Bergvall.
Yeah, lots to unpick. For me, I know myself and Ricky, both of us, we were both working last night, so Ricky did
Chris Cowling,
the Spurs chat. I did last word on Spurs, so I'm not going to repeat what I said on there, and you haven't either, but I'm just going to give a little bit more insight into it. I said that it was a nervous performance, and I'm going to play both sides of this. I'm going to play the negative and the positive. So the negative, it was nervy. It was probably one of the worst Champions League games you could watch for a while. It was on both sides. Villarreal weren't very good, and we weren't very good. But Bukayo never made a save.
No, that's another thing.
Yeah, Bukayo never made a save.
Yeah.
And we had one shot. And our goal was a freak mistake by the goalkeeper, who's probably having nightmares about that right now as we speak, and will for a long time. And Champions League nights, those lights, that stadium, I felt like it got to everybody, including our manager.
Right, okay.
I felt that everyone was like, oh my God, we're here. Remember, Frank's never been there before.
Yeah.
And some of the players haven't been there before. And I think that it was a night where it could have gone really badly wrong. The way the game was playing out, it could have got really bad. Wow, that's such a poor sentence. It could have gone really badly, and we could have been upset, and we could have lost that game. There were moments where, especially in the second half, the Van der Ven last minute challenge to give away the free kick at the edge of the box, which was so dangerous.
Yeah, was it Xavi or was it?
No, Van der Ven. Van der Ven did the block on the guy at the last, so the free kick right at the edge of the box. Because the way the game was going, it was screaming that there was going to be an incident where we were going to shoot ourselves in the foot. Xavi should have been sent off. Like I'm never going to be on a podcast, especially ours, and sugarcoat things. The way the ref had ref that game, Xavi should have been sent off, and that's the way the game was going. It was going towards us being here, going, we threw it away and we didn't do what we did. But you know what? Forget the last minute of what I just said, because it didn't happen. We actually came away with the win. We have our first 3 points in the Champions League. We're off the mark. We kept a clean sheet. We had nerves, but we got through it. And I think there's an element of Spurs right now where I think we have to understand that the elements are not all clicking yet. And some elements are. Fundamentals, the ground work is being done, and defensively we're a lot stronger. The way I look at it right now, if you had a builder come to build a house for you, and he turned up and went, all right mate, I'm going to build your house, and the first thing you built was your roof, you'd be a bit concerned.
Well, this is it.
Right now, our roof is our front line, and it's not working right now.
Yeah.
It's not clicking, and we've got the new elements. We've just brought Xavi in. We haven't had Solanke yet. We've got the guy from... we've got there's so many elements. We still don't know where Johnson fits into the system. We've got no Cooley. We've got no Maddison. There's so much of our attack that hasn't been pieced together yet. Yeah. So what did our manager do? He focused on the back line first. Let's shore it up, and he's done that. And that gives me confidence that once all the other elements click, once the Champions League gets going, we should get going. But right now, picking up wins, ugly, and not at our best, is not what Tottenham have done over the years.
Very true.
And we did that under the lights in a nervous situation, and we got our Champions League campaign off on a winning start. As I said about how time works, we will forget how bad that was when we go 6 games in and we see that we've got 3 points. That's what it was about. So positives and negatives, yes, we're not flying yet, but we won when we needed to, and that's what we did. We won when we needed to.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, it's all about the foundations. I mean, and one of the things that I was concerned about when Thomas Frank came in, was, are we going to be too defensive? Are we going to be too counter-attacking? Are we going to be that Tottenham side that just keeps soaking up pressure and then try and break, But we're not. This defensive structure and having a structure and having these boys fit and ready to go, Van der Ven, Romero, being able to, that unit right now with Porro and Spence and Vicario, having them all there, growing, you can see how much clean sheets mean to them. And having, whether it's Bentancur or Polinia in the midfield to screen, it has actually allowed attacking play. There's been a lot of attacking play. That's why we've got free kicks high up the field, and that's why there's been corners high up the field, because there's been attacking play.
And we've scored goals.
It's
not like we've been games 1-0.
Yeah.
Like we're scoring goals. Yeah.
So we're still playing our football, but with this structure, it looks like the boys are loving it. It looks like they can trust in it. And I think, like you say, once we get the right tiles for the roof, and once these guys start clicking up there, you can see it could be magic. You can see that it could be dynamite. It hasn't kicked off yet. You can see Kolo Muani came on for about 15 minutes towards the end. Yeah. And apart from the yellow card in 30 seconds.
Hilarious. Yeah, hilarious.
But didn't get much. No. But
looks tired.
Yeah.
Look at that. I don't care what that big man. Like, you're right.
Yeah.
You've got minutes. Yeah, you've got to work himself in. We
can see he's not there, and that's why he didn't get no game time against West Ham, and that's why he only got 15 rather than come on at 60, which I was expecting.
It's a bit leggy.
So we're working. We're working with him. Yeah. But the one thing that I did see, again, big, tall, strong. Physical player again.
And he's got feet.
He's got
good feet.
He could be he could be the best of the lot, because he's almost a mix between Solanke and Richarlison there. Yeah. With his own salt and pepper.
100%.
But
either throwback to the Adebayor times, those type of players, even like Canute, the Peter Crouches, the guys you think, oh, you're just big. But they've got feet. They hold the ball up well, and he played for France. He's not a bit part player. He's a baller. And if we get, like I said, he looked leggy, he looked tired. If we can get the legs going, get the energy in him, we could have something really nice there.
Yeah, So after not very much, what did you think about that second half and the way that we handled it? Because, like I say, I was like that first 15-20 minutes in the second half, Dal, I felt that we, like I say, that dopamine hit. It was almost like there was a drop, and because Kudus had 2 or 3 passes that were either too short or too long.
Everyone did.
Romero, Van der Ven, Spence. You was chatting about Spence. and the Xavi relationship, there was many times that Spence, for me, and you spotted this with Spence, right? So he switched off twice for me within the time that he was on the field. He switched off timing, and you pointed that out to me a while back, right? He doesn't always. He's actually been growing. But there was 2 times that it happened. There was a time where the ball was rolled. It looked like it was rolling off, and the player came in and jacked him. And then I think there was a time where a player put the ball over the top, where he made a wrong body movement or something like that. But there was those moments that happened. But him with Xavi, there was times where Xavi made the run and he was clear gone, and Spence didn't put him through. He didn't put him through on the long ball, and I was like, oh, come on, why didn't you do it then? And then there were times where he was playing 1-2s with him, and sometimes they came off, but there were times where I feel that he put Xavi into trouble. There was 2 Villarreal players on Xavi, so it's almost like you're passing him the ball and he's straight away turning into trouble, or as soon as he's touched it, there's trouble around him. So it was almost like it wasn't a pass to do anything apart from put him into danger. There was a couple of those moments in the second half that happened. I think you're right with Xavi. I think that they should have taken him off a little bit earlier.
Just to save him.
To save him, especially when there was that moment where he could have got the second yellow. I'm thinking, all right, and cool. You know what? At that moment, we've had our luck now. Like take him off now. Let's not.
I thought it had been the first substitution. Him or Richarlison.
Same.
I thought one of them was going to come off, but he went otherwise. But I hear what you're saying.
But then but you make a good point here. But because of the first substitutions, then it's getting a bit bitty. But Frank then changes it again. So instead of having 2 8s or 10s that are almost like running and box to boxy, but on the attacking front, he brings in Paulinho to go alongside Bentancur and has 2 screens now in front of that. Like, isn't it nice just to be able to do that within game and not lose anything, actually gain something? Because when Paulinho did come on, he did change.
Because you have a natural destroyer of football. Like, he's a real 6. He wants to break up play. Like you saw his in-game management. There was a moment late in the game where Villarreal were going to go on a break, and he knew just foul the guy, just for the half an hour, just take the foul. And because he's got that in-game management. My concern, and this is where I talk about not being too excited about where Frank is right now on his process. There were moments in that game where he needs to look at his in-game management. He took off Simmons for me too late.
Yeah, me too.
Because if we got what the ref should have done, we'd have been down to 10 men. And for me, that's on your manager. Because he got booked early in the game. You saw, as you've been highlighting beautifully, in the second half, we came out and we couldn't keep the ball. The passes were all sloppy. It was really bad. And Villarreal were growing in confidence, and that meant that the press that Frank does so well wasn't working. They weren't pressing, but you're asking players to press. That means I want you to run at someone and put your body and face in front of them from our attacking players. That leaves you a chance where you could do a foul, because strikers and attacking players are not the best at defending. So his in-game management, Frank, at times isn't always great. He went more defensive because he was trying to hold on. I accept that, and that's football. We had a manager previously who never wanted to do that. We keep going for 90 minutes, we keep going, or 100 minutes now as the game has become. You just keep going. Frank wanted to shore it up, and I respect that. The only thing is, when we play against teams that are better than a Villarreal, you do that the way we were last night, and we're going to be open to a problem. Because I've noticed, as Spurs fans will see as well, which you've noticed too, you go back to the Super Cup, we don't hold on well. When we start changing, we're sitting deeper on ourselves and go to the other team. You have the ball, we'll just defend it. We're not very good at that. Maybe that will come in time, but right now we're not. It doesn't fill me with confidence when we do that. When we're doing plan A, which seems to work for us right now, it worked for 70 minutes in the Super Cup, it's worked against Man City, it worked again against Villarreal in part, where we press the ball. But it's not just a relentless press, it's an educated press.
An aggressive
It's an aggressive press at the moment. It's like, strike to kill, go. Hold on, strike to kill. And that works, and it has been working. So when we change and we sat deep, it always scares me a little bit. But we got through. We got the points, we move on.
But I'll tell you one last thing as well, for me on Villarreal. what I'm really impressed with when it comes down to Thomas Frank is every concern that we've had right here.
Yep.
Every concern that you probably spoke about on Last Word and I spoke about on the Spurs Chat podcast, bro. Thomas addressed, he mentioned himself and was like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to have to get on that. And he said the same. His reflections on Bournemouth were really interesting because he was like, I didn't help the team. There was times where I could have helped the teams and there's certain things that I done wrong. And he was like, yeah, I had to take that as a lesson. Massive, bro. Don't just let a defeat be a defeat. Take as much from that as you do from a win. There is so much information. There's so much you can take from, like I say, a defeat as well as a win. So when you win ugly, let's take those lessons too. And the fact that he highlighted all of those things, the same things and the thing is that I was on during the pod and I didn't know what he had said yet. Mm-hmm. So by the time we'd spoken for maybe like an hour at this time, and then they dropped the press conference. And literally everything that we've just been speaking about, he was like, yep, and I was just like, not that we're saying, but he's seen the same things as we've seen, and he's looking to address it, and he's not going to let it lie. Mm-hmm. For me, that's tremendous, bro. Like you said, we got through, we won our first game back, home, 3 points, clean sheet, nervousness out of the way. We're big boys, back listening to that music. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yes, you can feel the tingles, but now you know we go to work, and now we're in this competition. Yeah, you know. So I thought it was overall, yes, okay, badish game or whatever, but you know, like we won. Yeah. And we're in. Yeah. And we're back. Yeah. And I think it's a positive that our foundations are solid. Yeah. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
They really are. They really are.
Okay, I've got my deep dive question for you.
Alright, bust a deep dive. Yeah.
Alright, cool. I want you, over these last few games, West Ham, Villarreal, I want you to talk me through your insights, what you've seen, your highlights, your highs, your lows of this defensive unit. Oh, okay. But I want you to. I'd love you to start with Vicario because we keep missing out Vicario, and that's a good thing that we keep missing him out. Yeah. Like you know, there hasn't been. But I love your insights on goalkeepers and defenders. So just take a minute, bro, and just go through what you see from Vicario. You know, Romero, Van der Ven. Okay. Porro, is there a difference there? Yeah. And in Spence. Mm-hmm. And then if you want, you can hit Paulinho. But no, just the defensive.
Alright, cool. Vicario to start with.
Yeah.
Vicario was a worry for us. Yeah. We were worried about him. Especially about his feet.
Right.
Yeah. He doesn't claim corners, he doesn't catch well, and his distribution wasn't great. But he's a great shot stopper. I've seen this season a lot more confidence our backline has in Vicario. Also, that confidence is growing because they're closer together. Last season, keeper to backline was a huge gap. There was a huge gap. So communication's hard to have because there's a huge gap. Now everyone's a lot closer, so they're talking to each other. Vicario has improved his feet. There were moments in games, even if you watch the Villarreal game, his outball to people like Kudus and players like that is a lot better. They trust that he's going to make that pass, left or right foot as well, people. And him communicating better, he looks a lot stronger. And I think the work that he's done needs to be commended because with Kinski coming in, who's a very good goalkeeping, not a goalkeeping keeper, wrong term, new age keeper.
Yeah, new age. He's been born in it.
Yeah, these keepers who could play centre halves, you know what I mean? Could play sweeper because they've got those feet. He's improving that side of his game. I still haven't seen him command his box for corners and stuff, but what I have seen as we play forward, what we're doing defensively at the back, let's not ever take away the work that people like Richarlison does on corners. The amount of balls he wins in the air, the amount of balls that Bentancur wins in the air on our corners, they make a keeper feel safe. We're a big side. Romero is a beast in the air, Van der Ven is a beast in the air, and we're handling that better for Vicario. We are looking after him. As a back line, instant changes are we're closer together. Instant changes is we're not doing a high line defence. What that does is it makes defenders, for me, defending is a beautiful art. And you see the art of it when you're not just running and chasing people. Positioning, anticipation, awareness, as they move as units across the pitch. We have, for me, our three as in Porro, Romero, Van der Ven move beautifully as a unit across the pitch. Sometimes Spence isn't always in the right place. I've highlighted this before. Me and Ricky spoke about this privately and on different points.
And maybe share.
Yeah, and
about
I'll share.
Spence as
Like,
well, but
I think Spence is
yeah.
in our back line. He's a phenomenal defender because he likes the one-to-one challenge. He thrives on it and he grows in it, and he loves putting a man in his pocket, as you see on his Insta. But Spence switches off, and positionally, maybe because he's playing left when he should be right, he switches off and he never checks his shoulders. And he's always, for me, if I was a team attacking Spurs, that's the side I'm going to. And much you think, no way, because he's got such a great ability to do one-to-one. But the problem we have on our left is he hasn't got a pair yet. He hasn't got a partner that's going to look after him. Pedro has Kudus helping him all the time. That right side has been a fortress. You ain't getting through that. On the other side, there are opportunities, but Spence is playing so well, he's saving us. And he's saving himself. Because there's so many times where he goes, I'm fast, you know. Let me give him a bit of space. And he plays the risky game. One day it will bite him. And again, like I said about our younger players, they will make mistakes and Spence will. However, hopefully he doesn't make too many and he grows into moving as a unit with this back line. Romero is commanding that back line vocally. It's beautiful to see. He's the captain and he's leading vocally. Him and Van der Ven are closer together now, and what they're also doing is they're pressing the ball in a very unique way. Frank has really given them that ability to know when to do what is the aggressive press, and they do it at different times. They never go together, different times. Man City, I'll go back a further game. Man City, they went man for man right across the pitch, and that was beautiful to see confidence in your player. You mark your man all the time, wherever he goes.
Because Van der Ven was all over the pitch.
All over. It's follow your man. Don't worry about this shape. Follow your man. Because if you've gone up top, that means the wingers come in. That means Spence has to come into that position, and it worked beautifully. Pedro Porro has not been spoken enough about this season. He has been phenomenal. Tim Sherwood mentioned when we first bought him, I don't rate him as a defender. I don't rate him as a right back. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. We were playing inverted, overlaps, we were playing all different ways as fullbacks. Pedro Porro is a traditional right back. The crosses that he whips in from, that what I call a perfect defender's angle. He doesn't always have to get to the byline. You go, give me it here, the roll back from Kudus or whoever's in front of you, first time whip ball, he's always giving you money. He's always giving you something to try and cash in on. And his positional sense has been great. His understanding.
He's up to it.
Oh, absolutely. He's gone, I'm a right back. Where do you want me? I will be there, Gaffer. And he's enjoying it. Remember, put respect on his name, you know. This man is an international.
An engine as
Engine.
well.
Baller. Like, absolute baller. Like, all right, watch this one. Here's one to click if you want to click me up. You got Trent Alexander. Pedro Porro can do all of that.
Everything
that Trent can do, Pedro Porro can do. Don't tell me he can't whip a ball like Trent. Don't tell me he can't. Don't tell me he can't take a free kick like him. He can. What he's worked on, which Trent has had to work on as well, is the defensive nature. And I've seen it improve this season. He's got it in abundance. Remember, this is a Spanish international. He's not a bit part player. He's not this any random dude that we got. He's an absolute baller. And now with a defence where he's not relying on being the fastest and it's about chasing back or being inverted and being a 10 as well as a right back. Now he's being a right back and he looks good. Obviously now having a real 6 in front of that defence makes it safer. But what I'm seeing is Frank has built a unit, but that unit starts at the top of the pitch. We're pressing differently. The aggressive press in the right moment really works for Tottenham. And right now I'm really enjoying the foundation of a strong unit which he has created. Also, having our centre halves fit, Rick. How many times did we lose them? We have world-class centre halves. Yeah. When they're together, they're up there with top 10 pairings. Like they're up there. You can't dismiss that.
They complement each other so well, man. And you know, Romero. You look at Romero, and the amount of times that he's so comfortable on the ball. That he just walks it out. Yeah. He walks it out.
Scares me sometimes.
I know. There's moments over the years, but he walks it out. And you know, Messi spoke about it when they was chatting about him because he's the other one outfield player who will stop the ball dead.
Yeah.
and he will use, he'll wait for the player to move before he moves and stuff like that. He will draw players out, and that's what Romero's doing almost.
Yeah.
He's and nobody rushes him down.
Yeah.
Who rushes him? He's there holding the ball. At times he could stop there on a halfway line where he's pushed the whole line up, and then he waits for them to move and he'll ping, or he'll find the right. And I think that him having the armband as well has put some. You know what I mean? He's lifted his chest. You know what I mean? Put some meat on the chest, bro.
Yeah.
Like he wants to represent. How do you feel that? And as well with Porro, having that structure allows Porro as well to trust what's happening.
Yeah. Trust behind him, trust in front of him, trust in Kudus, trust in what's behind it. It makes sense.
But what do you think about him as a defender being able to slow down the play, slow down the ball the way he does, and be a ball player? Because now he's added assists to his game, bro. As well as a goal that he should have had against West Ham. But like he's got assists. He's becoming a phenomenal all-round player. How good can Romero be?
Romero can be world class. He is a brilliant defender. And the reason I say he could be world class is it's up to him. Romero, I think, is his own worst enemy. When Romero's not there and he gets wild and loses his head, game over. But when he's playing the way he's playing right now and he's thinking, you can see. Remember, this guy, again, is a World Cup winner. Let's not play down what we have. This man has won things. He's an elite defender. Players, strikers do not enjoy playing against him. They know they've had a game when they play against Romero. So having him stay, signing a new contract was massive. I was always a strong believer. If you want you to go, let him go. I don't want someone who doesn't want to be there. But he's saying, I want to be here. Giving him the armband. Him and Van der Ven being fit together, if we can have them fit for the majority of this season, there is no reason why we don't win something or really can compete with everybody, because they're phenomenal. And Van der Ven was only spoke about before when he arrived how fast he is. You hear commentary, fastest player in the league, how fast he is. He's a very good defender. Another international, by the way. For Holland, not Azerbaijan, not a small country that has only 8 players. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's honestly put some respect on these guys' names. He's an absolute baller, and at the back, with the ability to go that fast. Imagine being a defender going, I'm playing tight to you. You ain't getting away from me. Because if you spin me, I'm gonna catch you. But I'm gonna win the ball here. He's physically strong. He's mentally strong. We've got a nucleus being built where Spurs become the team where you are not scoring against us. Once, the thing that I want to hand back to you, we have such a strong core. Thomas Frank, you mentioned it about being maybe too defensive, and you're worried that could be Tottenham.
That's what I was worried about, yeah.
If we don't address the 10 situation, and say he keeps Simmons on the left, do you feel that midfield is... weak's the wrong word. Like, it's not creative enough.
It's not, but I think that if he went that way, then it would be on Bergvall's shoulders to kind of be that creative spark.
I think it's on Kudus. The way we're playing right now.
Oh yeah. But I mean, if you're talking about the midfield, as in whether that's Bentancur or Polina, and then Sarr and
you're absolutely right.
I think Bergvall would end up having a responsibility as a creative spark, but don't discount Sarr either, because Sarr's that guy that just. I still don't think that anybody knows what type of player he is right now. Do you know what I mean? Because he does so much and he does so much well, and you can see him again, another one that's growing week in, week out, that you don't know what type of player this guy is. So he's not only got goals for us, he's got goals internationally.
Yes, he had a great one.
Right?
Didn't see it, but I heard about it.
Yeah, I think he scored 2.
Yeah, 2, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's putting the things in the locker together, mate. So if it was that way, it wouldn't be our strongest. I don't think our strongest lineup to go out and do that, but I think that it could work, and I think that this is what Thomas Frank has. I said it last night about Bergvall and Paulinia, that they're two different hammers that do the same job. Do you know what I mean? Like one of the hammers has got the hook at the end that takes out the nail, and the other one's just got 2 blunt heads. Do you know what I mean? One that's bigger than the other one. You know, but we've got a variation of tools to do the job that needs to be done right now.
Yeah.
So I think that is what's exciting, and we've still got Kulu to come back. You know, Madison on his Instagram today was back in the gym. You know, moving that knee, getting it moving. It's the first early stages. We know that is
going to be a while.
He's going to be out for a while. But there are players coming back into this side, but it's growing. It's fruitful right now.
Yeah.
You know, and it's allowing space for those young ones to step up and step in. You know, we've got a few opportunities here. One in midfield, one on left wing. You know, our side is pretty much set right now.
Yeah.
The back five.
Yeah.
So your doggy has got a fight on his hands to get back in there.
I do feel that he will get in.
Me too.
Because they'll rotate. And there'll be games where you want a natural left-sided and natural and
agreed.
Yeah, I think it's a good issue to have for Frank.
Yeah,
because even in midfield, it's not set who the 3 or 4 is.
This is it.
You can rotate.
It's
a squad game.
Yep, you can rotate and you know, left wing right now. That's open.
It's open. It's open. Come and take it.
So, you know, if Tell gets out there, he's got an opportunity to go out there and make that he's within the league and within the League Cups.
Johnson played there and scored.
Johnson's played there and scored twice.
Yes.
You know, Odegaard is supposed to be, you know,
one that Frank likes.
The one that Frank likes. So they're auditioning.
Yeah.
Go out there and somebody make that position your own.
Richie can still go out there. Richie can go out there. You know what I mean? Make it your own.
I mean, we're on to the new look Spurs now, and this is what we're venturing into. And I'll ask you just an oddball question, but kind of an oddball question. But with the physicality up front, right? Would you, when Coleman won his fit, would you, Richarlison left, Colo up front, Kudus right, Xavi 10? Because I'm thinking like physicality. I mean, and I'm just saying, you know, we know that Richarlison has played on the left. He played most of the time there for Everton. Yeah. He started well. He went a bit quiet last game and last couple of games. So, do you reckon that'll run?
It's always worth looking at. I wouldn't do it because it would rely on Kudus doing a lot of work. A lot of work. I know you got Xavi in the 10, so you'd expect him to be the creative spark. But I feel that the left side becomes a side that you don't get any creativity from it. What Richarlison is great at is being a pest and a bully and a workhorse. He's not renowned for his crosses, but he's good at getting on the end of it. He'll be great for Kudus' late cross for a late run to get in there and win it. I would give it a go. My only thing about Richarlison is I never know how many games he's got in, and he's going to break down. So I wouldn't want to get that system to be the one that we love and fall in love with because we lose it. I think having Richarlison as a backup to Koulibaly and Dominic Solanke, because I think Solanke's number one for me, and then Koulibaly, then Richarlison in that order when all fit. But what Richarlison does, which I love about him, is when he's on fire, he creates such a problem for us as fans. Because when he's on fire, you want to keep playing him. Yeah. The minute he drops off, you go, oh, he's just not the one. And you saw that against Villarreal. Yeah. When he never looked like scoring, and that is frustrating for us as Spurs fans. Because you look at him and go, he's not the one. So if you were to put him out on the left, do you take away from like what Johnson brings to the game, what Tell could bring to the game? I think that left side could be so much more creative and give a team what a headache you would have having Kudus on your right side doing what he does, cutting in, making crosses, a winger on the left doing exactly the same thing, and Simmons in the middle providing for your striker. That's what I would love to have, because I think for me, Johnson on the left as a late winner, getting those kind of goals which he's done already this season, is more of a threat on that side than Richarlison would be. And I prefer him down the middle. That's just my take.
Okay.
That's my take.
Okay, but you know what is really cool and good to see, especially as a Spurs fan, bro, is options. Options. You know, different quality, you know, tactics, different quality positions, formations, players to come in, players to come back. There's change going throughout the club, and I think this could be a really bright future for us. I mean, look, as we're looking, we mentioned the Lewis family now taking a bit more charge and being a bit more front and centre. They've got January to show us what
money,
because if there was a time when they put 150. Do you remember when it got
yeah.
And then there was that 50 mil that just stayed in the bank.
Bare interest.
I swear it's still there, bro.
It's still there. Bare interest.
It's probably the 100 million that they're gonna drop in January.
Yeah, it's just interest.
It's just interest, yeah. But let's see in it. Let's see if opportunities turn up in January that they put their money where their mouth is and they act. Because that was the most disappointing thing about Morgan Gibbs-White. It wasn't even about Morgan Gibbs-White. It was the fact that we went Kudus, and then 2 hours later we went Morgan Gibbs-White, and we went, signed, sealed, delivered, let's go. And it was that moment that we were like, well, this is a big club movements, and it was that was disappointing that it didn't come off. Of course it didn't. It's us. Yada yada yada. But it's there now. There's been a lot of shake up throughout this squad. It's all about taking that next step, climbing that next ladder throughout this club right now. So I think it's bright days ahead, mate. I think change for Tottenham. I think you guys done a tremendous effort out in kind of putting your message out there. Mr. Levy's gone now. We've got new people in that board. They're saying different things. We've asked for change. We're seeing it. We've got 4 first-team players in the transfer window. Yes, it could have been more. Yes, there's still improvements, but I think it's such a bright foundation that we've got to spring off from right now, Dal.
Yep, I agree. Let's hopefully continue pushing forward and know that this is all work in progress.
Yeah.
Nothing is a finished article right now, including this pod.
Yeah, I mean, but my friend, I think we're done.
We are done. We are done for another week. Peoples, thank you for supporting so far. What I'm loving is the numbers going up gently on every episode.
Absolutely.
Even when we're now approaching episode 3, which we're giving you now, episode 1 still going up, episode 2 still goes up.
The pilot's still there.
Keep sharing the love, keep spreading the news, keep letting people know. Thank you for stuff like this.
Yes, bless you. Thank
big
you.
up Bombshell, thank you. Bless you.
Thank you.
Making the magic. We are appreciative of all the efforts that you people do for us and the love that you send. We read every comment. We look at everything that you say. We take all criticism and things like that on board because we just see it as progression and growth. We're trying to grow something. And we grow it by keep spreading ourselves. Myself and Ricky are busy. As Ricky, you quite rightly said, you was on Chris Cowlins straight after the Champions League game. I was on last word on Spurs. So we're out there. We're still part of the community. We're still involved. This doesn't become something separate. It's very much being put into the mix with everybody. It's a family affair. There's enough pods for everyone. There's enough space for us all. And we're here to stay. That is the plan. We are here to stay. And we do have news to share, don't we, Ricky?
Yes. But before we do, I will say a big thank you to Little Images as well, who
I just want the news.
Hooked up our logo.
The actual image.
The image,
Hold on. On that note, just so we're nice and clear, we didn't follow Tottenham. Tottenham followed us. We were using this image before Tottenham, not as in like the
not
whole
as in
Tottenham.
obviously, not as in
just the new season launch
but
where they've gone back to the retro badge. We had already gone back to this badge because this badge has sentimental meaning to both of us.
Absolutely,
we won't go no further than that because it tells too much information. You know what I mean?
They don't need to know anything.
We'll say that. Yeah, we'll put the cups down. Sentimental.
And big up to Bombshell, bro, for making these cups. Big up to Little Images as well for creating our design here.
Indeed.
And yes, news. So, so it's been in the pipeline. I know, right? Started like a mofa. So it's been in the pipeline for a while that a horror version of Aladdin I've been casting. So it's all going ahead. It's all going ahead. Yeah, I know, right? It's all going ahead. Contracts have come through. Start dates have come through. Bless you, brother. Bless every time. So I'll start filming next week. It's going to be super exciting. First horror film I've ever done, so I'm really looking forward to doing that.
Second one I'll watch.
If you want to stay up to date with what I'm up to, you can find me on official Instagram is where I do most of my acting stuff. So that's official Ricky Norwood. And then on Twitter it is at Ricky J Norwood, where is most of the Tottenham stuff. But Dal, you've also got news you can't share because I'm
NDA'd. I'm NDA'd.
Right.
but I'm also going to be doing some filming as well. So my one's a little bit after Ricky, but we're both going to be on screen doing stuff, which is always wonderful to keep sharing our love of performing, because that's something that makes us who we are. But
where can they find you, bro? Where can they find
so
you?
where can you find me? Find me right here, Tito on Tottenham.
Yeah.
But you can also find me at Original Hartman on Twitter and on Instagram. That's all the handles. Now, people, I want to say, Rick, congratulations on the film. Pick up yourself. Looking forward to seeing it. And peoples, if you're liking this, keep sharing it, keep subscribing to it. We're loving doing it for you. We're loving doing it for ourselves. So stay blessed, stay fabulous. We may have a little bit of a gap between episode 3 and episode 4 due to our schedules. We're going to work it out. If you're following us, you will see stuff. We won't go quiet. We just may have to change up our format for a little bit, and then we'll be back right here together the minute our schedules realign. To peoples, love you like cook food. Big up and bless. T-Talk and Tottenham signing out.
We're out. Love.